All right, everyone, welcome. In this presentation, you'll not be seeing any crazy editing or animations. Instead, I'm going to take you through a carefully constructed presentation designed to open your eyes to this new life-changing skill and cash flow business opportunity that has made myself and my business partner millions of dollars. If you stick with me throughout this entire training, I can guarantee you will leave with a clear direction and understanding on how to crush your competition, accelerate your online business growth, elevate your skills and value, and generate large amounts of cash flow. I'll be revealing the secret of what is undoubtedly the best online business model for 2024 and the coming years, and the one and only skill you should develop to be an unstoppable online entrepreneur, and do it all without spending any money, hiring people, or raising capital. You'll come to realize this is the only thing you should be learning right now. You'll learn how we scaled a passive $100,000 a year software company without writing a single line of code in just 3 months, evaluated at over $500,000 and runs on autopilot at a 95% profit margin, which is unheard of in any other online business. I'll show you multiple ways to take this one skill and make a ton of money by applying it to countless other business ventures, which I will reveal at the end of the video, as well as results from our students who are absolutely crushing it with this new proven opportunity. I made over $2 million in 1 year at the age of 25 just from learning this skill. Going from a college dropout to running a $500,000 a year agency to e-commerce and doing over $1.5 million in sales, but nothing even came close to the opportunity that I'm going to teach you today. This is only a 30-minute presentation, but I promise these 30 minutes could literally change your life. If I would have known this when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I would have easily 5 to 10x my current net worth in the same time frame. So stay focused, and I promise you'll thank yourself when you're done. So if you're ready, let's begin. So who am I? My name is Brandon Priest, and I'm a 27-year-old self-made multimillionaire. Every penny I have has come through my own online businesses. I'm close friends with some of the top entrepreneurs in the online business space, and I'm Brett Malinowski's business partner. If you're not familiar with Brett, we run a business education YouTube channel directed towards teaching future business opportunities with a leading business podcast and over 400,000 subscribers. Now, I'm the behind the scenes operator of all our businesses, as personal brand building and being in front of a camera isn't really my thing. I like playing my cards in the shadows because my forte is starting, running, and scaling businesses. And I've done it all. I can guarantee almost every business model you see on YouTube, I have tried and seen good results from. But nothing comes close to what I'm about to show you today. From my first company, which was a social media marketing agency, doing over $40,000 per month within its first year, to dropshipping and doing over $1.5 million in revenue, then building my first software company and making $100,000 in profits in year 1, to finally running a development agency and building products for some of the biggest creators in the space, making myself millions of dollars. But then I made a development discovery of a lifetime, which changed everything. From my agency to my software startups and pretty much everything that I do today. Brett and I have made millions of dollars together in multiple business models, but we both agree on one thing. If we could hit the reset button and start all over again, we would only do this one thing I'm going to teach you today. But first, I want to be real with you. Versus every other online guru who pretty much makes all their money selling courses, this is the first time that I've ever taught my secret methods, my business opportunities, how I think, and my future business plans publicly to anyone. All the money that I have made has come from running real online businesses. And I can guarantee if you are somebody looking for the best business model to start, this is it. But it's important to understand I'm not here to sell you some crazy, out of reach, saturated business. I'm here to teach you the newest untapped business opportunity that is sitting at your fingertips. And all it takes is learning one skill. And that skill is no-code development. This one skill has made me millions of dollars in multiple businesses and positioned me to tackle almost any opportunity. Network with some of the biggest guys in the online business space, and has propelled my entrepreneurship journey and my bank account. The number one question I get asked most often from people who want to make money online is, what's the best business model? But this is the wrong question. The real question should be, what is the best skill I should learn? And I can say without a doubt that skill is no-code development. It will open up so many doors and opportunities, and we live in such a tech-driven society. If you want to build a future-proof business, it starts with a future-proof skill, and that skill is development. Now, with no-code, it just makes it 100 times easier. So let me break down this life-changing opportunity and prove to you why this is the only skill you should learn. First, I want to be transparent with the expectations that I will set for this new opportunity. I'm not going to sit here and say you're guaranteed to sell a $10 million software business by learning this. However, I can confidently say if you're learning this and your goal is to make $10,000, $25,000, even $50,000 per month in the comfort of your own home, it is a very reasonable goal, and you are extremely likely to achieve it if you learn no-code development. Now, everyone has different goals. You might want the supercars, the travel life, the big house, which I've achieved all of this, and it was something I really wanted in my life. But you might be different and be happy with your material things and may want to prioritize wanting to spend more time with your family or escape your 9-to-5 job. And for whatever your goal might be, you'll be able to achieve it with what I'm about to teach you right now. Now, the business model itself is nothing new. However, the approach to capitalizing on this business model is an absolute breakthrough. This business opportunity is called SaaS, or Software as a Service. In simple, it's just building a software or app that people pay you to use on a recurring basis that solves a specific problem. Every single one of us uses a SaaS on a regular basis. The more popular ones are things like Amazon, Netflix, Uber, Airbnb. However, as we go through this video, I'm going to reveal way easier software businesses that you may have never heard about that print millions of dollars per year and have sold for over 8 figures, that are not complicated to build and can be done without writing a single line of code, no technical expertise, and no money up front. Now again, before I dive into SaaS, make sure to stay to the end of the video as I reveal the secrets to actually winning in this space, show you behind the scenes of how we did it with our software company, and how I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars by applying this skill into other opportunities and exactly what those are. Now, my story is probably like most of yours. I grew up in Kansas, didn't come from a family of money or entrepreneurs, was really just a normal kid. And once I got into college, I realized really quickly this was just not for me. Like every other kid, my goal at the time was fast cars, the freedom, no boss, the ability to travel, really the whole laptop lifestyle. And I knew going to college and getting a job like everyone else was not going to get me there. Now, before I dropped out, I needed to figure out how to make at least 6 figures a year so my parents wouldn't disown me. And at the time, Tai Lopez and SMMA and social media marketing was all the buzz. So I started my first company, which was a video and social media agency. Within the first year, I was able to scale it to over $40,000 per month, working with companies like Spirit Airlines, Universal Pictures, Garmin, and countless other brands. Now, even though I was doing quite a bit in revenue, it just wasn't something I really wanted to do. And at the time, running an agency and taking orders from other businesses was really the opposite of what I wanted to do. So then I took the skills that I learned and the money that I had and started dropshipping and doing e-commerce, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. I ended up doing over $1.5 million in revenue my first year, and then decided to build a product research software tool to help me find new products to sell. So I hired developers, spent tens of thousands of dollars, and really just to have some mediocre app that took over a year to develop. Now I ended up making over $100,000 with that software my first year, which was cool, and really my first real taste and win in software. But it didn't end there. By building this tool, I had some of the top dropshippers and business people on YouTube hitting me up, and all these guys I used to watch on YouTube in my dorm room are now wanting to get to know me, which was crazy. In business, it's important to understand your network is your net worth. And coming from Kansas and being a nobody and not knowing anyone who wanted to achieve the level of success that I did, to then rubbing shoulders with top entrepreneurs was crazy. Through this, I had the opportunity to start a development agency, which Brett and I were running. We partnered with top creators in the space and developed digital products, which made us millions. Then in 2022, we made a discovery that changed everything. And that discovery was no-code development. And we could build all the software companies we could imagine just by using 3 tools: Bubble, Make, and Rapid API. This honestly made us feel so stupid because we realized we no longer needed traditional developers and we could build software and products 10 times faster than traditional programming. My first software company could have been built in 30 days without spending $1, and it blew my mind. And that's really when everything changed. So what is no-code development? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. You can build apps and software businesses like Uber, Airbnb, Netflix without ever writing a single line of code. And you can do it really by using 2 tools, Bubble and Make.com. Bubble is a no-code software building tool, which allows you to build the front end of your application, which is what users will see, and create functions just by dragging and dropping, much like Shopify or any other website builder. While Make.com allows you to connect thousands of apps to work together in a unique way, just by clicking a few buttons, which kind of acts as the engine of your application. Now we're going to dive more in depth into these 2 tools in a second, but let's talk about why this is such a crazy opportunity and breakthrough. Because in the past, the cost, time, and risk associated with building software were so high. You would have to spend tens of thousands of dollars hiring developers. And if you had no technical experience, you can go ahead and just double your expenses now. Learning how to code is hard, time-consuming, and would require you to go to university or attend an extensive coding bootcamp, which is just expensive and unreasonable for most. So what happened is most of the people in the online business world just wrote off software as not possible and out of reach. And all these new people who wanted to get into starting an online business just swarmed to SMMA, dropshipping, and Amazon FBA. And to be completely honest, those are all so hard to do now because of the sheer competition in those niches. Unless you were early into those businesses, in simple, you're kind of just screwed. But if you take a second and look at most of these $1 million software companies, and the ideas aren't really anything crazy. They just found a problem in a niche and developed a solution. And now you can do this with 0 code. These no-code tools have shifted the landscape and democratized the software and app world. So now normal, everyday people can build $1 million software businesses, almost exactly like what Shopify did for e-commerce stores, to where anyone with a laptop can sell products online. So with these 2 no-code tools, anyone can build apps and software. After we made this discovery, we built our very own 6-figure software company called Revamped, which turns YouTube videos into articles, newsletters, tweets, and more. And we did it in less than 3 months. And we did all of it without writing code and only using 3 tools: Bubble, Make, and Rapid API. We started sharing our new discovery on YouTube, and hundreds of thousands of people were shocked. And our students started to see some crazy results, which I will share with you here. But first, let's talk about SaaS and the whole reason you're watching this. Now, before I reveal some software companies that have seen tremendous success that you've probably never heard of, let's talk about the benefits of building software. First off, all you have to do is build the product once and you can sell it forever, versus businesses like e-commerce where you have to worry about inventory, suppliers, logistics, and your product costs that eat into your profits. With software, once you build it, you can sell it over and over again without ever worrying about product costs. Secondly, your users will pay you every single month on a recurring basis. So versus a $50 product that you sell one time to one customer, where maybe you make $25 after expenses, with software, you can charge $50 a month. And if a customer uses your app for just 1 year, you can make up to $600 off of one customer. So let's talk numbers. You want to make $10,000 per month? All you need is 200 users paying you $50 a month. So to make $25,000 a month, you'd need 500 users, and that's $300,000 per year, and pretty much straight profits, because the expenses to run most software businesses aren't much other than hosting your app publicly. Compare that to something like e-commerce. To do $300,000 a year in profits, even at a 20% profit margin, which is extremely high, you would need to do $1.5 million in revenue, which means at a $50 product, you would need to find 30,000 customers. That's 60 times the amount of people and effort for the same return. It's absolutely crazy. And if you ever wanted to sell your software business, most recurring subscription-based softwares are evaluated at 8x your annual profit. So for a $25,000 per month software with 500 users, you could sell it for over $2 million. The fact that this is even possible without technical expertise or coding knowledge blew my mind. And what shocked me even more is that no one is teaching this online. So Brett and I both agreed we need to get this opportunity out there. And if no one was going to share the secret sauce, we were going to. Now, before your imagination takes you somewhere else after hearing these numbers, let's talk about 5 SaaS businesses that are worth millions of dollars and could be built with no-code tools, and how you can actually come up with these million-dollar software ideas. I think you'll be completely blown away at how simple these ideas are. It's crazy once you realize that million-dollar companies don't need to have some complex idea. Sometimes just the more simple the idea is, the better. But once I reveal these $5 million software businesses, I'm going to share with you the secret sauce to actually coming up with these ideas and the actual steps you need to take to build your very own SaaS. So first, let's talk about Skimmer. Skimmer is a niche B2B or business-to-business software for pool cleaning companies, giving their customers the ability to manage their inventory, create optimized pool routes for their clients, and this software is worth well over $60 to $70 million and is used by most pool cleaning businesses and generates over $1 million in revenue per month. And yes, this app could be built with Bubble and Make.com. The next app we'll talk about is StudyBuddy. And StudyBuddy is a software that helps students use AI to complete their homework assignments. This app was actually created by one of our friends and has been around for less than a year and does over $100,000 per month in revenue at a 90% profit margin. And yes, this can also be done with no code. We actually have a program that walks you through how to build an AI software that does your homework for you. Pretty much the exact same thing, just using Bubble and ChatGPT. But the cool thing is StudyBuddy was also able to scale from $20,000 MRR to over $80,000 in MRR in just 1 month solely by using short form content on Instagram and TikTok. The next app we'll talk about is Tweet Hunter, and this is an AI app that creates tweets based off your previous tweets. So all you have to do is add your Twitter username and it'll generate tweet ideas for you in seconds. This app sold for over $10 million in less than 1 year. And this could have been built almost completely through Make.com, just by adding Twitter to capture the Twitter accounts and past tweets, and then ChatGPT to come up with new tweet ideas based on the previous tweets. Again, it's crazy how simple this is when you start to break down some of these million-dollar software businesses. The next one we'll talk about is ShopGenie. This is a business CRM tool for automotive shops, owned also by one of our friends. It's been around for about a year now, and they're doing over $120,000 per month. This is really just a tool that allows auto shops to schedule customers, improve their customer service and experience, host their own websites, and organize their work. This is a great example, again, of a niche business tool that solves a unique problem to that specific industry and gains fast and huge traction. The last SaaS I'm going to talk about isn't really what you might think of as a SaaS, maybe more of a digital product. However, they do have a gated login portal as well as a subscription, and that is CintraBots. They basically offer preset AI tools that use multiple prompts to generate a specific outcome, as well as a make automation pack with pre-built make automations that perform different functions. And this company does over $25,000 per day in revenue just through Facebook ads. And yes, I said $25,000 per day. The thing to keep in mind with each of these applications is they could all be built using Make.com and Bubble, meaning you could most likely build each of these apps in less than 6 to 8 weeks. You are more than capable of building a software like any of these, and have extremely low competition and infinite upside. And at the end of the day, it's not hard to build apps like these anymore. That is why building SaaS is hands down the number one business model. Now we'll discuss how to come up with $1 million ideas and the steps to actually building your first SaaS. Then I will reveal the inside of our 6-figure software and show you the ins and outs of how it actually works using no-code tools and what it really looks like to build SaaS with zero code. So I know what you're thinking. How do I come up with software ideas like this? And what are the actual steps to building a software? Sometimes the best ideas come from inspiration and ultimately believing you could make an existing app even better. What this could mean for you is taking an existing app and recreating it, but then targeting a specific niche directly. So for example, taking an app like our software company Revamped that turns YouTube videos into tweets, articles, and newsletters, and creating the exact same feature but then angling it towards the podcast niche. Now, what does this mean? Podcasts are a huge business and a business opportunity that millions of people are doing right now. Now, running a podcast is one thing, but turning that podcast into summaries, newsletters, tweets to grow your podcast is a huge hurdle. You could take the exact same tool as Revamped and transition it to only be used for podcast growth, taking full-length podcasts and summarizing them into readable articles, newsletters, and tweets. This is something that we are actually working on at the moment. So basically, we can create 2 software companies from one feature. Now, let me give you another example of a SaaS that was not a new idea, just a unique angle that scaled to over $20 million per year in just 4 years. This SaaS is called Flowdesk, started by 2 women, Martha and Rebecca, in 2019. Flowdesk is really just another email marketing and email delivery system like MailChimp, SendGrid, Klaviyo, HubSpot. So nothing really new or innovative about this tool. However, they saw a huge disconnect with current email marketing tools and thought they could do it better. And they solved really 4 problems. Number 1, most are just too expensive. And secondly, they're not user-friendly and hard to set up good email flows. And third, the templates were not well designed and hard to customize to really be professional branded looking emails. And lastly, the ability to create custom sales pages for emails rather than directing them straight back to the website. These 4 angles allowed them to compete with established software companies in the same space, but propelling them towards a $100 million valuation in just 4 years. It's stories like this that help you understand how big the market actually is and how small changes to an existing software can put you in position to make millions of dollars without coming up with some new crazy idea like building the next Amazon, Uber, or Netflix. So let's talk about a couple of tools that you can use to take inspiration from existing software companies and find your unique angle. Now, there are really 2 tools for this. Number 1 is Product Hunt, which allows you to see upcoming software companies that are about to release to really get inspiration from. And the second one is Acquire.com. And this is where software companies will sell their software companies. So you could simply go on to Acquire.com and filter by businesses doing at least $100,000 per year and analyze the business, go through the ideas, and really help drive and spark inspiration of new ideas based on existing software that is actually working. But at the end of the day, some of the best ideas aren't even new ideas. They just have a different angle or audience. Someone can build one SaaS for a specific audience, then you could take that same software and re-angle it to a new audience. And with AI and the rise of ChatGPT, it makes it even easier. There are so many existing successful software companies that don't use AI. You could essentially just take these ideas and figure out a way to recreate them and integrate AI and make an absolute killing. But let's take some time to cover the 4 core steps to building a SaaS, and then we'll go into how to actually build SaaS with Bubble and Make. Now, there are 4 core steps to building a software, and the first one is idea and validation. This is essentially exactly how it sounds. Come up with an idea or take inspiration from an existing idea and dial in on your unique angle. Then validate the problem you are solving with your SaaS by asking people in your target audience if they would use your software solution. You can ask a few different questions, right? Is the problem worth solving? What are the benefits they might gain? Judge really how excited they are for the solution, how easy it would be to set it up for them, and a list of questions that will really help you judge the success of your build before you invest your time into actually building it. A lot of people kind of skip the validation phase, but validating your idea is crucial. The worst thing you can do is spend hours building it out and for no one to use it. And this can also help you with how to price your software competitively and come up with some insane offers. The second step is design and wireframing. This is where you start to bring your SaaS idea to life, and you can use really any wireframing or design tool. I personally recommend using Figma. It's incredibly user-friendly, and with some secret plugins, you can turn any website into a Figma design and make minor adjustments, which we actually teach inside the WGMI Academy. In this phase, you'll need to design every page of your application, from your homepage, dashboard, settings, etc. That way, when you start to build it in Bubble, it's easy to copy exactly how you had it envisioned. The third step is development. And this is where you're actually going to start using Bubble and Make.com to turn your designs into a functioning software. And lastly, the official launch of your application. After making this discovery, having made millions of dollars with the hard way of development, we had to teach this to the world. So we developed a beginner-friendly yet extremely comprehensive program designed to take a complete beginner with no technical experience at all and transform them into a full-blown software developer in just 3 weeks. Software no longer requires you to learn how to code or have a tremendous amount of technical experience. And if there is a shortcut to building SaaS without coding, this is the only program that will teach you how to do it. Now, I know you're skeptical, but before you start doubting, we've turned thousands of normal, everyday people into full-blown software developers. We've had people like Nils, who built his SaaS in just a matter of months, hitting over 1,500 users. Or Tobias, who built an AI productivity SaaS in just 58 days. Or even people like Dave, who was a programmer who then turned no code through our program and built 3 Bubble apps in just 3 months. These are just a few of the countless testimonies that we have from our future dev program. Now, before I jump into the secret money-making opportunities that will open for you when you learn no code, let's quickly just cover what you actually get out of our future dev program inside the WGMI Academy. First, you'll gain instant access to over 10 plus hours worth of content taught by myself and leading no-code developers on our team. We go through the basics of Bubble, like how to design and style your SaaS, build workflows, use elements, and then we get a little more advanced into creating login portals and using APIs, integrating AI, and how to use pre-built plugins. Then we turn you into a Make.com expert to build advanced automations and features just by using third-party apps to create insane tools. We even teach you how to build our very own software company revamped from the ground up. Then we put your skills to the ultimate test by building Airbnb. Yes, the entire Airbnb app from scratch in just a few hours. The education that you get out of the Future Dev program is unmatched compared to university or any extensive coding bootcamp. You'll have the ability to talk to us directly, ask questions, get advice in our weekly classroom sessions. You even get access to our 10-week SaaS challenge guide to build your very own software in 10 weeks just by following a step-by-step weekly guide and checklist, making it super easy for you to go through each stage of building software. You'll even get access to some of our bonus programs like our low-code AI course and how to maximize your knowledge using APIs, and pre-built features and how to add them to your app. This is really for more advanced software build. And our no-code Bubble AI course, where we actually build a full-blown SaaS together that uses AI to do your homework assignments and is built to the point where all you need to do is host it live with your own domain and you can start accepting payments and getting users. Again, this program is unmatched compared to any business opportunity or new course on the internet. It takes the most advanced and sought after skill, which is development, and makes it easy for anyone to learn and become a full-blown software developer in just 3 weeks. The only way to really get this type of education would be to attend a university or go to a $10,000 coding bootcamp. And even then, what they're teaching you is the old way of building software. So just take a second and imagine yourself in just 3 weeks, standing on the other side of the software development game, creating, innovating, and launching your very own product.